She said all her friends had better boyfriends, so I paid the bill and walked out of her life. I met Michelle when I was 25 and she was 23. She was radiant, funny, confident, the kind of woman who lit up a room before she even said a word. I was quieter, an accountant who liked order and plans. She worked in marketing at a startup and had that spontaneous streak that pulled me out of my routines. For the first year, it felt perfect. I brought her flowers every Friday, cooked dinner when she was exhausted, and surprised her with weekend picnics. She used to look at me with those soft eyes and say, "You're the sweetest guy I've ever met." Then, everything started changing. It began when she got close to two women from her yoga class, Brittany and Ashley. They were flashy, loud, and completely absorbed in their image. Their boyfriends, Derek and Marcus, were the same. Derek drove a BMW and couldn't go 5 minutes without bragging about his investment portfolio. Marcus owned a business. No one really knew what it was, and he constantly posted photos of diamond bracelets and weekend getaways. Michelle started coming home with stories about them. Brittany's boyfriend surprised her with tickets to Paris, she'd say wistfully. Marcus took Ashley wine tasting in Napa. Then she'd glance around our modest apartment like it suddenly wasn't enough. When I suggested weekend trips or quiet dinners, she'd sigh. Maybe something more special? We started going out with her friends more. Those dinners were always the same. Expensive restaurants with $40 entrees and pretentious wine lists. Derek would make a big show of ordering the most expensive thing. Marcus would brag about a new investment or flash another designer watch. I'd quietly check prices, mentally calculating what the evening was costing. I'm practical. I budget. Spending $200 on one dinner felt insane when we could make something better at home for $20. But Michelle stopped seeing that as responsible. It became embarrassing. At first, she'd just get quiet during those dinners, shrinking next to me as Brittany and Ashley gushed about jewelry or trips. Then came the jokes. When her friends asked how things were going, she'd laugh and say, "Jake's more practical than romantic," always with that apologetic tone, like I was some kind of burden she was explaining away. The flowers she once loved became, "You don't need to do that," but not kindly, more like she was embarrassed by them. When I tried to save for a down payment on a house, she got frustrated. "You're always saving for something," she'd say. "Can't you just live?" Her friends started chiming in. Derek would joke about guys who play it safe while looking straight at me. Michelle never defended me. If anything, she'd nod. Then came that dinner. It was a Friday in October, a high-end place downtown. Everyone ordered cocktails that cost as much as my weekly grocery bill. Derek announced he was taking Brittany to Paris just because. Marcus pulled out a small Tiffany box and handed Ashley a diamond tennis bracelet. "You guys are so lucky," Michelle said with a tone I'd never heard before. Resentful, sharp. When the check came, I reached for it, like always. "I've got it," I said quietly. That's when she snapped. "I'm tired of pretending," Michelle said, loud enough for the whole table to hear. "Look around, Jake. My friends all have better boyfriends than you. Brittany gets Paris. Ashley gets jewelry. What do I get? Dinner at Olive Garden and grocery store flowers?" The table went silent. Even the waiter froze mid-step. She wasn't done. "I'm embarrassed to be here with you. They all know I could do better." I felt something twist inside. Humiliation, anger, but mostly disappointment. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just placed enough cash on the table to cover everyone's meals, stood up and said, "Enjoy your night." Then I left. Michelle came home drunk around midnight, smelling like wine and regret. I pretended to be asleep. In the morning, she brushed it off. "I was drunk," she said with a laugh. "Don't be dramatic." But she meant every word. "I think we need a break," I told her. She rolled her eyes. "You're really doing this right now?" "Yes," I said. "I am." While she was at brunch that weekend, I packed everything and moved out. Left the key on the counter and never looked back. That was 3 years ago. Now, I'm engaged to Emma, a kindergarten teacher with a laugh that feels like home. She doesn't care about flashy gifts or luxury dinners. She gets excited when I make her pancakes on Sunday mornings. She loves simple things, real things. At our engagement party last month, Michelle showed up uninvited. She looked different, tired, brittle around the edges. "I just wanted to meet her," she said. I shook my head. "We never had anything real, Michelle. Real love doesn't come with conditions about how much money you spend."